You Season 5 just ended, and today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the season, whether or not I thought it was good, whether or not I thought it was bad. Obviously, I feel like it was somewhat disappointing, but that doesn't mean I thought it was bad. And then I'm going to talk about one thing I'm scared for Stranger Things 5. That happened in You Season 5 without a doubt. Before we get into the video, guys, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and join my Discord down below where we talk about Stranger Things and other TV shows every single day. And without further ado, let me give you my quick review and analysis and thoughts about You Season 5 and what I thought could have been better and what I thought I didn't like at all. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, so we'll just get the You Season 5 and Stranger Things 5 comparison out of the way right away. The thing I'm scared about that happened in You Season 5 that I don't want to happen in Stranger Things 5 was the fact that, you know, they're both Netflix shows, so obviously they have some relation, but they don't have the same writers, obviously. But it did feel like You Season 5 was rushed. It felt like they just wanted to get to the ending. I feel like there should have been another season, like, honestly. I get it, you know, you can't repeat everything, but there's just certain storylines in this show that needed to be brought up. There's certain characters in this show that needed to be brought up in Season 5, and they just didn't do it. And instead, they added in these useless side plots that just felt repetitive and predictable. You know, the twin thing was really good with Reagan and Maddie. I really did enjoy that, but when it got to the Harrison thing and everything, it was like, all right, what are we doing here? We have so many other things to discover and so many other things to talk about. We can't just keep digging into this twin storyline. And it felt like they were just trying to just run through it. They had all these ideas and they just wanted to run through to get to the final episode. And that wasn't even the worst part, obviously, the Reagan and Maddie part. That wasn't my least favorite part. Honestly, it was like pretty entertaining until it got a little bit old, you know, in episodes 5, 6, 7, whatever. The worst part of the show was Bronte. And I'm not saying this to the actor or anything, not at all, okay? I actually thought the acting this season was incredible, okay? In Season 4, you had Kate, a main girl that Joe was, you know, with, and she made it to Season 5. Why wouldn't you have Kate be the one to take Joe Goldberg down, okay? Why would you bring in this random girl from, you know, I get the whole Beck storyline thing. I feel like that was just, it was a cool plot twist, you know, at the time, saying, oh my God, she was friends with Beck. That makes so much sense. It feels like that was just an excuse to bring in another girl, dude. Like, looking back at it. In the moment, it was like, cool, another girl, Bronte, yeah, let's do this. And then it was like, oh my God, this is just like an excuse to get Joe another love interest. For what reason? He already has one. He already has a love interest. But I guess their idea was like, you know, he was so greedy, and that's what got him in the end. You know, he was greedy. He went for another girl when he had everything, and it ended up biting him in the butt, all this stuff. I get that. But I feel like Kate should have been the one to take Joe Goldberg down. And not only that, I'm going to try to be as balanced as possible, because there's a lot of, you know, polarizing discussions around You right now, as far as, you know, just the dynamics between everything. Whether you like it or not, Joe is a serial killer on a TV show, right? That's just a fact. He's a serial killer on a TV show who kills people, okay? And when you have him as this big bad, you know, predator, I feel like he needs, in the final season, before he gets taken down, he needs to look like the scariest version of himself, okay? That's what I feel like. For a storyline, for storyline purposes, he needs to feel like he's the most dangerous we've ever seen Joe Goldberg. And this entire season, it sort of just felt like he was off his game, and he was way more gullible, he was way more easy to fool, and he couldn't see certain things. And I guess that has to do with the fact that in Season 4 he sort of went crazy, which makes sense. But I don't know, I really feel like in order to hit this home run, they needed to have Joe be the most dangerous version of himself and go on, you know, a killing spree again, like a massive one, and make it his grand finale. And then at the end, he should have had a brutal death. I get, you know, shooting off his genitals and all that is like a part of his punishment and staying in prison and this, that, and the other. That's cool. We'll get to that. But I feel like one thing that messed up big this season was bringing in Bronte. And obviously it's not the actor. It's just another love interest. It doesn't make any sense when you already have one there. Bringing in another girl to take him down, or even having the love interest there would be fine. Having a brand new love interest be the one that takes him down and not Kate is just like, what are we doing here? What are we even talking about here? You know what I'm saying? And if you're gonna bring in Marianne back, have her be the one to take down Joe. Like, what are we doing? There's just, oh my God, it was just so frustrating for me. And like I said, he needed to be that big bad villain. He's a villain, guys. He's not this, He's not Dexter, you know? Dexter, yeah, he's a serial killer and all this, but he has a code, and he's sort of portrayed as like a good guy. Not a good guy because he's a serial killer, but like the best possible good person serial killer that could possibly exist is Dexter. Joe's a literal predator, like sexual and otherwise. I mean, he is a villain, monster, manipulative. I mean, he is not a good person whatsoever. There's not 1 ounce of good in Joe Goldberg, okay? Like Dexter, he shows flashes of being a good person and having somewhat of morals, even though he's literally killing people. But you know what I'm saying? Joe should have just been portrayed as that monstrous villain, and he was not in season 5, and I thought that was a missed home run. I thought that was a strikeout in my opinion. So that was the biggest thing, like having Joe not feel as big of a villain. Having Bronte kill him, not kill him, but take him down, I feel like was stupid when you had Kate in the show. And then, okay, we have so much to talk about. Okay, so Love not being featured. I get the actor schedule thing, I get that, but just wait then. Just wait to release it until you can get actors to film. Like Victoria, I forget her last name. The actor who plays Love said that she wasn't even asked to do any scenes in season 5. As Netflix writers, as you writers, she's the most beloved girl in the show. Whether you like her or not, that's the truth, okay? Love was the most entertaining. It felt like she had the strongest connection to Joe. Why not bring her back in a flashback if you're gonna bring back all these other women? Like, what are you doing? That was a big miss. And then not having Ellie be introduced. And I know that's an actor thing. I know Jenna Ortega's busy, but just wait then. Because it's the final season. What are you rushing into this for? That needed to be introduced, Ellie. So I feel like Love should have been in a flashback for sure. Or not even a flashback, a hallucination, whatever, in like Joe's head. I feel like Ellie should have been not introduced, but Ellie should have been talked about, at least in a small sense. She should have just showed up one time, but that was like I feel like a pretty big storyline in the earlier seasons that just never got touched on again because Jenna's busy. I get it, Jenna Ortega's busy, rightfully so. She's a massive fucking actress, but you gotta do something. You gotta just wait. Then you gotta wait till she's free because this is the final season for your show. It has to be perfect, right? You can't just rush into this thing. And then this is like there's just like this weird dynamic argument about the girls being all powerful and everything and this, that, and the other. I don't have a problem. Like, girls should be the one to take down Joe. Like, are you guys delusional? That he's been the one taking down them for 5 effing seasons. So of course girls are gonna take down Joe. I feel like that's the whole point of the show. I don't know, but I just feel like, yeah, obviously, I feel like it should have been Kate, but yeah, obviously a girl was gonna take down Joe. Clearly. But having Bronte have a snapped ankle, get drowned, strangled, all this stuff, and then come back and just be perfectly okay pointing a gun at Joe, that was ridiculous, in my opinion. That's ridiculous. That should have never happened. Obviously, like, Bronte should have never been introduced in the first place, so it never should have happened in the first place, but like, in that moment, that shouldn't have happened. That was ridiculous. And then I feel like the Kate part of her surviving the fire, the carbon dioxide or whatever it was, and then the hammer to the head, I'm okay with her surviving that, but there has to be a little bit more of an explanation behind it. Like, I don't know how she survived that. Some of the stuff was just not believable. They just needed to make it a little bit more believable. This is what I'm talking about. I feel like they just rushed through it. I feel like they just rushed through the entire thing. And there was so many things to like focus on. And sometimes like playing it slower is way better than just speeding right through it. Sometimes maybe you should have had a 15 episode season, And that's what I'm scared for Stranger Things. Stranger Things is only gonna have, I think, 8 episodes. Like 8 episodes? Are we fucking serious? And You has 10 and they fumble it? Like, oh my God, that terrifies me. But yeah, those are my complaints with You. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. It wasn't the worst season possible. I thought the ending wasn't even that bad. Of course, I would rather have a death, but him being in prison with his genitals shot off was just I just know that was like Penn's idea, bro. But Like, I don't mind that at all. You know, I get it. Like, he has to see the world hate him and be lonely for the rest of his life. That's his torture, whatever. And then, but you know, him reading a letter at the end saying like, maybe the problem is you. Like, me? What do you mean the problem's me? You're the one out here killing people. But yeah, the whole point of the show was like saying like, as a society, we're kind of screwed up. But at least that's the way I took it at the end there, calling us crazy after a serial killer just went around and killed however many women, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just feel like there's things they missed, things they should have touched on and they didn't touch on them. And overall, I felt like it was definitely a miss of a season, especially for a finale. I feel like it was definitely the weakest season out of all 5 of them, I feel like. Maybe the second weakest, but there's just things that should have been different and they didn't do it. But, you know, it's still a watchable show. I still enjoyed the watch. I just would have changed a lot of stuff and not have had it as predictable as it was. And yeah, those are pretty much my only thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about my takes on You Season 5, if I'm crazy for saying all that. Yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to have a great rest of your day. And hopefully Stranger Things on Wednesday doesn't feel rushed, you know, with the new Wednesday Season 2 and Stranger Things Season 5. Like, hopefully it does not feel rushed at all. And they don't add in pointless side plots and they just focus on what needs to be focused on. That's all I have for you guys. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.